We welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, here to race number 5 of Division 1 of the NCAA Skittles Super Speedway Series as we get set to continue on what's been a very interesting race weekend here at the Dragonett Super Speedway. Getting ready for 29 laps of racing here as so far we have had 4 races, 3 different race winners. We have had a multi-time winner already, rolling off from the outside of row 3, the 00 Brady Burkhart winning the season opener at Daytona and last week's race at M&M's, ensuring that Brady Burkhart will be one of the 8 drivers here in Division 1 that will battle in the overall chase for the championship this season. But we have today's race included another, I believe it's 11 races left in this regular season, so plenty of time for any other driver here in this field to be able to put their name forward as a possible candidate in this season's playoffs. And we've got a couple of drivers, obviously, that also have a crooked number in the win column, Seth Cole and Ryan Butcher. If either of them go to victory lane in today's race, they would join Brady Burkhart as a driver that would represent for Division 1 in this season's chase. On the pole position for this race, a guy that probably made the Division 1 qualifying session really exciting, that's the Dodge, the only Dodge in Division 1, Eli Bright in the number 12. Eli Bright just barely raced his way into the top 10 at the last minute in round 1 to advance to round 2. Then in round 2, at the last minute, he grabbed the pole position. So Eli Bright, who comes into this race currently situated 15th in the point standings, definitely looks like there's a lot of momentum on the side of this car, and we'll have to wait and see if he's able to go to victory lane. Now, Dodge already has 2 wins this season, but both those wins are over in Division 2. We'll see if they can get their first win here in Division 1. Let's go down trackside, get those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines.
And as the command is given, Eli Bright will start alongside of Jose Millz, both drivers making their best start of the season. Millz comes into this race currently in the 30th position in points, but he did have a good run last week at M&M's, so we'll see if he can get his season turned around with another good performance here today at Dragonett. Now, we mentioned the fact that we've had 3 different winners so far this season. Right now, your overall top 10 in the point standings, this is how it looks, brought to you by Blame Shelley Insurance. Philip Goldberg is the overall points leader by 6 points over Trent Dunham. Brady Burkhart, the 2-time winner, is 3rd, 8 points out of the top position. Vance Caldwell and Sebastian Cucalon, 4th and 5th. Preston Plourd is in 6th. Ashlin Boyd, who rolls off 3rd, is 7th. JT Bryant, 8th. Austin LaPlante, 9th. And Diego Yepez had a tough run last week at M&M's. He is 10th coming into this race. Our other 2 former winners, Seth Cole, he is 11th in the points. Ryan Butcher, 18th. Right now, the 3 drivers that would make it in via wins into our current playoff system would, of course, be Brady Burkhart, Seth Cole, and Ryan Butcher. That leaves currently, coming into this race, 5 spots open for drivers to make it in via points. Those spots right now would be held by Goldberg, Dunham, Caldwell, Cucalon, and Plourd. If any driver here today gets their first win of the season, they leapfrog all those 5 I just mentioned and would jump into the win column and would, via win, have one of the playoff positions heading into next week, which is going to be an exciting weekend in itself. Next week we're heading to Madrid, and I believe Pensacola is next on tap. So we've got some very interesting tracks coming up here. But we got to finish out this weekend here at Dragonett. A lot of online drivers don't particularly care for this particular track. I love it. And it also brings about great racing in offline series as well. Eli Bright, Jose Millz, then Ashlin Boyd, Kyle Mathews, Roger Ray. That is your top 5 as the green flag's in the air here at Dragonett. Let's roll! Jose Millz trying to get down to the inside after starting on the outside of the front row. Ashlin Boyd going to have none of it. Eli Bright's going to get out in front. And we'll have to see if at most super speedways, if he's going to be able to control the draft. Nope. Ashlin Boyd was able to clear Jose Millz, so now Boyd on the charge of the Hewlett-Packard, wow, easy for me to say, Hewlett-Packard Dodge. Roger Ray trying to take 3rd. Look at this. Ashlin Boyd going to go a groove lower. And I think Eli Bright could not hold the bottom, saw that Boyd had the run, and just moved up out of the way. And Ashlin Boyd's actually going to lead the first lap of the race. Now Eli Bright trying to battle back on the top side, has Roger Ray and Jose Millz with him. Help coming on the bottom for Ashlin Boyd, that's Cody Smart, Shane Lake, and Jonny Gardner. 3 wide back there in the middle of the field. Sebastian Cucalon stuck there in the center, along with Riley Spurlytube, and I believe that was Ryan Butcher, our winner from Armory, who also is back there in the middle of that 3 wide situation. Shane Lake going to move to the inside on Cody Smart. That's going to break up both the inside and outside line. I think it hurts the outside line even worse. You see Eli Bright fall back to that 3 wide for second. That allows Ashlin Boyd to get out in front now, with nobody to the outside, nobody to the inside. And it is 3 wide all the way back behind him. Now Shane Lake on the inside is going to go for the top spot. Shane Lake jumped up 2 spots in the standings last week at M&M's, now up to 14th. Benjamin Miles right behind him, then Jonathan Zoerlein, then Trent Dunham, second in the points, trying to take the overall points lead from Philip Goldberg. Goldberg started this race towards the rear of the field, as now Benjamin Miles looks like he might take a peek to the inside coming out of turn 4. He is there. Yeah, Philip Goldberg started this race back in the 31st position. And a driver that started at the rear of the field, a very rare sensation, was the 36 of Laurent Lemount, and I don't like what I'm seeing back here. They are 4 wide. That's Carter Friesen in the middle. The 75 of Friesen, the 6 of Millz, the 8 of Matt Haas, Eli Bright, the poles that are way up top. They're bouncing off each other coming out of the exit of turn 2. Somehow they got to let Friesen either down or up, and they are still 4 wide. This is not going to end well. They are leaning on each other in the middle of the pack. Oh, if they can make it out of turn 4 here, it's going to be a miracle. Oh, they're 4 wide behind him. That's LaPlante, Sebastian Cucalon. And are they going to settle it out? Oh, I think they did. They did settle it out, but now they're 4 wide, a row back further there. That was Cucalon, LaPlante, Jay Jefferson, Roger Ray. And they're going to settle it out, it looks like. Wow. I don't know how we got away with 2 formations of 4 wide and somehow didn't have a wreck. And they're going to go 4 wide again, a little bit further up. Jose Millz has been in the middle of a 4 wide situation twice. Tristan Fowlkes trying to clear him. I think he's got him cleared. Can Millz tuck down behind? Not quite. Now he's going to have a lane because Fowlkes went from the middle down to the low line. Again back to 3 wide, but how we were able to avoid a caution so many times, I don't know. And we have had a change for the lead. Jonny Gardner now out in front. Preston Plourd now up to second, while now battling for second with Jessica Shelton and Carter Friesen, whose heart must have been in his throat. Oh, we got a wreck! Benjamin Miles up into the wall in turn 2. Joshua Ciculli involved as well, and that's a multi-car wreck out of the second corner. First caution of the day is going to take place on lap number 6. And are they going to go 4 wide coming back to the line? This is not smart. Friesen got moved up by Jay Jefferson. Contact between himself and Matt Haas. Oh, can they make it back to the line? Looks like they're going to. Thank goodness. Jonny Gardner going to lead the mayhem back to the line. First time the caution flag flies here today. Boy, that was a lot to take in those first 6 laps. Well, the Pepsi cars out in front. The Crystal Pepsi Chevy of Jonny Gardner. The Pepsi Chevy of Preston Plourd. And there you see the smoke lingering in turn 2. Saw a couple of cars. I saw Miles and Ciculli, but I know there were others that were involved as well. There's what remains of the 73 of Joshua Ciculli. Shane Lake, he was up front not too long ago. He was involved. Zachary Taylor, a lot of damage on that car. Started this race from 10th place. There's the first car I saw out of shape, the 25 of Benjamin Miles. And unless we've got some cars sitting on pit road, it looks like we could have gotten away with only 4 cars involved in this wreck. Although at many super speedways, a wreck is not always what it seems. There's some drivers that get some side damage that you may not be able to see at certain camera angles. So of course we will take a look at an in-depth replay of what brought out this first caution and see if there are any other drivers involved. And look at this. A little strategy being played out here. This is looking eerily similar to a couple of weeks ago at Pigs Creek. Jonny Gardner's going to give up the lead. Jefferson, Matt Haas, Shelton, Derek Hamill, they're all going to come down. But some drivers electing to stay out, including Preston Plourd, who will inherit the race lead. Looks like Friesen, Fowlkes, Zoerlein, and Caldwell will be the top 5 when we go back green. Interesting strategy going on here with an early caution to Dragonett. Let's go back, take a look at a replay of what brought out the first yellow of the day. All right, we've got the focus on the 25 of Millz here. Shane Lake behind him. Trying to see where there's even any energy building up that could lead to a wreck. Okay, watch down the bottom there. That's Joshua Ciculli, the 73. Does he get some contact with the 88 of LaPlante? Yes, he does. Yep, Ciculli. Looks like he got tight there on the exit of the corner up into LaPlante. LaPlante hooks him up into Benjamin Millz and Shane Lake. Ashlin Boyd got a piece of it there in the 54. I told you that normally drivers we don't see with a lot of damage do get some contact, and Ashlin Boyd would fit that category. And there you saw Zachary Taylor with a little bit of contact as well, getting spun out. So basically 5 cars, 6 if you want to count LaPlante, though I don't think he got a whole lot of damage from that involved in this one. And we got away with one relatively speaking, because that was right in the middle of the pack. That was up inside the top 20. Tough break there for Benjamin Millz. It has not been a great season for him so far. 28th in the points coming to this race. We mentioned Shane Lake, top 15 in points, was looking for a solid outing. Ciculli had a great run last week at M&M's, up to 24th in points. Zachary Taylor, he came into this race 35th in points. So a lot of drivers back here that are struggling in points. Looked like they were getting their seasons turned around, involved in this first yellow flag of the day at Dragonett. Let's go back for the restart, as we've got some drivers on different strategies. Green flag will come back out on lap 11 of 29. That'll give us a total of 19 laps left to go here today at Dragonett. 3 drivers will not make it back to the throwing of the green flag. Benjamin Millz, Ashlin Boyd, and Joshua Ciculli. Boyd, who started this race from the 3rd position and came in 7th in points. That hit passenger side into the outside safe repair that we saw, enough to send him behind the wall. And Millz and Ciculli, tough break for both of them as well. So 37 of our original 40 remain on the track. Drivers that were involved in the wreck, Zachary Taylor, Shane Lake, got their damage repaired, returned back onto the racing surface. Now, the first car that hit pit road was Jonny Gardner. He gave up the lead, and he is restarting back in 22nd. So I'm assuming the top 21 drivers did not come to pit road, from the leader Preston Plourd back to 21st Riley Spurlytube. So the way they'll line up here for the restart, Preston Plourd the leader, Carter Friesen 2nd, Tristan Fowlkes 3rd, then it's Zoerlein and Caldwell. They'll make up the top 5. Patrick Zych is currently 6th, Trent Dunham in 7th, 8th place J.J. Roberts, 9th Diego Yepez, and Jake Rogers will complete the top 10. Let's go down a little bit further here as we're waiting to get back to the start-finish lane. Andrew Miller will be 11th, 12th Roger Ray, James Qualls 13th, 14th Cody Smart, Jose Millz 15th, Austin LaPlante 16th, Jessica Shelton 17th, Laurent Lemount in 18th, 19th place Jack Mitchell, Derek Hamill completes the top 20, and the rest of the top 25, Riley Spurlytube, Jonny Gardner, Matt Haas, Jay Jefferson, and Kyle Mathews. Green flag back in the air here on lap number 11. So now here's an interesting question. With that caution coming out, we do not know what the full fuel window is for these drivers. Those drivers from Jonny Gardner on back that came to pit road back on lap number 7, well, actually it was more on lap number 8, would they be good to go to the finish on fuel? Or will they have to come to pit road at least one more time? These drivers that stayed out might be trying to make it at least the halfway point, so that way they can come to pit road and be good to go on fuel and only have to make one pit stop. First time we've seen Preston Plourd out in front this season that I can recall, although he has been really good this year, 6th in the point standings. Ironically, though, still looking for his first top 5, though he has 3 top 10s in the first 4 races of the year. Of course, he, a former pole sitter, the very first pole sitter in the series, taking the pole back in the Division 1 qualifying session at Daytona. Patrick Zych to the race lead, and here comes Trent Dunham. Remember, Trent Dunham trying to battle for the overall points lead, but also would love to find victory lane. Vance Caldwell right behind him. Both those drivers running well in points. Caldwell, he's 4th in the standings coming into this race. And then behind them, you got a couple of drivers that are struggling. How about that 47 of Andrew Miller, 37th in the points coming into this race, dropped 7 spots last week at M&M's. And now he's up here towards the front. And James Qualls, who had the pole back at Pigs Creek, he comes into this race currently situated in 31st in points. And now he's up at the front. Vance Caldwell will get a bonus point, led that lap. Now the door open for Andrew Miller. Jake Rogers there in the 98. He's been kind of a quiet one. He doesn't have any top 5s, any top 10s. He's 22nd in the points. This could be a time for him to jump to the forefront, a former champion on this channel back in the now defunct Oreo Truck Series. And one thing that we pointed out most of this season is the 36 of Laurent Lemount. The team is absolutely unbelievable when it comes to qualifying, which is why it was a shocker to see him start dead last in the race here today. But usually all that qualifying speed never seems to translate to good speed during the race, which is why Lemount came into this race 25th in the points. There he is in the 36, up here at the front, right behind James Qualls. So it's kind of a little bit of reverse psychology here. They run well in qualifying, they don't run well in the race. They do horrible in qualifying, and now it looks like they've got a car capable of winning. Jack Mitchell trying to make a third line down there with Joshua Lee. Sticking Matt Haas in the middle. Is it still side by side between Qualls and Rogers? Which line's going to win out? 4 wide further back. Cody Smart, Joshua Lee, JT Bryant, and Vance Caldwell. And that's up here close to the front of the field. We've seen them go 4 wide and be able to save it and make it through, but oh, every time my heart goes into my throat. There, 4 wide further back there. William Duncan, Derek Hamill, Riley Spurlytube, and Preston Plourd. It's especially off the corners here, and there goes Patrick Zych around off the nose of Hamill. Hard into the wall for the 04 Toyota. Caution is out again. One car went through the grass to avoid, I think that was Jonathan Zoerlein. And oh no, don't you dare attempt 5 wide. Oh, they almost did. They're still 4 wide there. That's Shelton now in the middle. Zack Winkle down on the bottom. Smart also in the middle line. They're going to make it back to the front, to the start-finish line. Laurent Lemount going to be the one that leads them back. Oh, I don't like this back here. Please settle it out. Okay, they did. Whew. Looked like Smart might have gone around off the nose of Shelton. And I might be wrong, but based off of what I saw just off in the distance when these cars came out of turn 2 onto the back straightaway, I think we only had 1 car spin out, and that was Patrick Zych. There's cars that are damaged. I think Shane Lake is off the pace. There's the car I saw go around, front rear damage on the Fire Department of New York Toyota Camry of Patrick Zych. But I think he was the only one that was involved. Nope, apparently not. Lot of front-end damage on the 85 of Zachary Taylor. Did he maybe run into the back of the 04 when Patrick was trying to get his car refired? And I think Zoerlein, I don't know if he's got left side damage or not. I saw him down in the infield grass to avoid. I don't know if he brushed the wall or not. Well, this is a welcome caution for those 21 drivers that did not come to pit road under that first yellow, and this makes it interesting because we're not quite yet, or yes, we are past the halfway point, so I would think everyone would come to pit road, wouldn't you? Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. We got drivers that are still going to stay out. Lemount, Bryant, they'll give up positions 1 and 2 to come to pit road, but it looks like the 2-time winner, Brady Burkhart, is going to roll the dice and going to stay out. Well, he's got 2 wins in the bank, which means he's got himself basically a locked-up spot in the playoffs. Why not try and get yourself some more playoff points and try and pick up a 3rd win with strategy? We'll have to see if it pans out. He stays out. We'll be the leader when we go back green. Let's take a look at a replay of what brought out our 2nd caution of the day. They were 4 wide in 2 different areas of the field. There you see them further up, and there you see further back here with William Duncan and Derek Hamill in the middle. And this is where the contact is going to happen off the corner. That's going to cause the spin for Patrick Zych, who was just wrong place, wrong time on the outside of that 4 wide situation. There you see, hooked in the left rear quarter panel, up and into the wall. And, oh, there was actually contact there for the 48 of Jonathan Zoerlein. And then off the nose of Jose Millz is what sent him down to the grass. Now I'm kind of curious to see about the 85 of Zachary Taylor. Taylor and Shane Lake, I believe, both damaged after the first caution. We're way back here, and I'm wondering if maybe the 0-4 of Patrick Zych comes back up the racetrack. No. He doesn't. Taylor has already gotten by. So what happens to the 85? Does he run into the back of someone under pacing here? Maybe the 48 of Zoerlein? Coming on the back straightaway here. We'll slow it down. He's still going about 70 miles per hour. Zoerlein is not going that fast, and there you go. Yep. Just never slowed up and ran to the back of the Lowe's Chevy Camaro. Well, he was damaged and off the pace already, and that just adds to it. The question is, though, is that going to be enough to put him behind the wall? Taylor trying to stay out and gather as many points per position as he can, and that little bit of an error here under yellow may have just ended his day. Let's go back for the restart. We're going to have, I believe, somewhere in the range of maybe 10 laps to go. And we're getting ready to go back green. Brady Burkhart out in front. 1 driver out of the race, not involved in the wreck, and that is Matt Haas. One problem that we have when we come to Dragonett, no matter what version it is, there is an area on pit road where 2 pit stalls merge together, and the 2 lucky people that drew those particular pit stalls were the 8 of Matt Haas and the 69 of Diego Yepez. Yep, they both came to pit road under that last caution. They both merged into each other on pit road. That damage has sent Matt Haas to the garage area. Tough break there for Matt, who had a great run last week at M&M's, was up in the top 15 in the points, 12th in the standings coming into this race, but will not finish out today's race on the racing surface. A couple of other drivers had some extended stays on pit road too, which I'm a little curious about. Kyle Mathews and Cody Smart. They are starting behind Zachary Taylor, who is hoodless, who is still running, and still on the lead lap. So we'll have to find out if they are up to speed or not. As we get ready to go back green, question is everybody good on fuel? Some drivers came to pit road, so I think they probably are, but a number of drivers decided to stay out, and they are your top 10. Brady Burkhart, Joshua Lee, James Qualls, Jake Rogers, Andrew Miller. Then it's Trent Dunham, Diego Yepez, Preston Plourd, J.J. Robertson, Zack Winkle. Now, I know for absolute certain that a couple of these drivers, Jake Rogers, Trent Dunham, Preston Plourd, they did not come to pit road under that last caution. So they, at this point, have got to be close to running on fumes. I don't think you can make it a full 29 distance race on 1 tank of fuel, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they're planning on another caution coming out. Joshua Lee, nice move there. He'll get to the left rear quarter panel of Brady Burkhart. He's got Jake Rogers with him, and he's going to make this pass look very easy. Joshua Lee had a pretty good run last week at M&M Super Speedway, finishing out that race in the 13th position. That moved him up 2 spots in the standings, from dead last to 38th. So this is a driver that certainly could use some good luck with a win. But again, I'm trying to figure out with him, there's a couple of drivers up here at the front that I don't remember if they came to pit road when we had that caution back on lap 6 or not. Boy, the field broke up here at the front. Oh, we got a caution. 3rd caution of the day. Did we have a wreck up towards the front of the field? If we did, I didn't see it nor hear it. But this might be the caution that these drivers that all stayed out under the second yellow were looking for. Though they're going to give up a heck of a lot of track position, though. And we'll be restarting with less than 10 to go. Preston Plourd's on pit road. And I don't know if he and James Qualls got on pit road before it closed. Roger Ray as well, so good strategy there by these guys. Coming to pit lane, they'll probably be able to be ahead of any of these drivers here at the front if they have to come to pit lane. But who brought out the caution? Is it maybe the 6 of Jose Millz? Oh, we got a wreck here on the back straightaway. Kyle Mathews just got spun around by somebody. Might have been by Zachary Taylor. A lot of damage on Patrick Zych now, and I believe that's William Duncan with the hood all crunched up as well. We got a stack up here under yellow. And Jake Rogers, I think, is out of fuel. He is. The 98 car is out of fuel. That might have been what was causing the stack up. Eli Bright's headed for pit road. Andrew Miller's coming to pit road. Joshua Lee's going to stay out. Oh, Bright's going to stay out. Dunham's coming in, though. So I don't know who brought out the caution. Whoever brought out the caution might have been involved in that stack up, and so there's too much damage to tell if it was from the stack up under caution or from the actual wreck that may have brought out this yellow flag. So we're going to go back, take a look, and see if we can find out what it was. Joshua Lee on a wing and a prayer, trying to strategize here to get a win. Brady Burkhart right behind him, nothing to lose, trying to get his third win of the season. And Eli Bright will be restarting third. He's trying to go coast to coast after starting on the pole. And the caution did indeed come out for Jose Millz. Let's see what happens here. Everybody started slowing up further up here. I don't know if someone was running out of fuel or not. Oh yeah, the 24 of Preston Plourd, I think, was running out of fuel. And he was stopping in front of the field, and he had restarted up in the top 10, and Jose Millz, I don't think, realized that he tries going low, and he couldn't get low enough, and got into Preston's left rear quarter panel, and ironically enough, it was the 6 that went around. You would think under normal circumstances, contact like that would send the 24 spinning, but it wasn't the case. Jose Millz, who was back in the 30th position after starting the outside of the front row, going to have quite a bit of damage, I would think, there to the right front quarter panel. And that's why Preston Plourd had to come to pit road, because I think he was running out of fuel in the back straightaway. So now the question is, all those drivers that are still out there that haven't pit, are they going to be running out of fuel here when we go back green? This could be a very interesting restart to the finish. And we do indeed have confirmation that Jake Rogers was out of fuel under caution, under pacing. He's trapped a lap down right now in the 98. Car's out of the race after that wreck. Well, more actually out of the race due to the stack-up we saw in the back straightaway. William Duncan and Zachary Taylor. Now, we've got these drivers up here at the front. Question mark about them being able to make it on fuel. We saw James Qualls, Roger Ray, Preston Plourd. They were all on pit road when the caution came out, so they should be good to go on fuel. Andrew Miller and Trent Dunham, they were the only two that came to pit road when the pits were open the first time, and then the next time around, the 81 of J.J. Roberts hit pit road. So they will all start close to the rear of the field, but they're going to be good to go on fuel, I would think. This could be very interesting because if you are so low on fuel, it's going to be hard for drivers up here to maybe get up through the gearboxes. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. We saw on that last restart, Preston Plourd ran out of fuel on the back straightaway in front of the rest of the field. Will we see something like that here as we will be getting the green flag with 5 laps to go? Joshua Lee, 38th in points, the leader. Brady Burkhart, 2-time winner, second. Eli Bright, the pole sitter, third. Then you got Jay Jefferson there in fourth. Zack Winkle, fifth. Derek Hamill started this race from the 41st position in a backup car. Never even got to set a lap of qualifying in round 1. He's up in 6th. Ryan Butcher, another former winner, he's up there in 7th. Then it's Riley Spurlytube, Jessica Shelton, and then our other former winners, Seth Cole. So all 3 of our former winners are up here at the front trying to get themselves another win to confirm themselves a spot in this season's playoffs. Let's see what's going to happen. 5 laps to go. Will we be green to the end? Will they run out of fuel before the end? Green flag back in the air here at Dragonett. 5 car sounded good up through the gears. So that's at least a good sign that the car did not stall out. Battle's going to be on for 3rd place. Now make it 2nd. Jay Jefferson to the inside of Brady Burkhart. I'm going to be looking back mid-pack, seeing if any drivers have to pull to the apron, exhausted and out of fuel. Doesn't look like it yet. Field got awfully split up, though. As Joshua Lee continues to lead, going to try and block the advance of the Cobalt Tools Chevy. Not going to be able to do it. Big run for Jay Jefferson. He's got the Ford of Zack Winkle and the Toyota of Ryan Butcher in tow. Shelton switches lanes. She's going to get to the inside. Now 4th on that inside line, right in front of Seth Cole, as Jay Jefferson going to lead that lap. 4 laps to go here at Dragonett. Can these drivers make it on fuel? Jonny Gardner, big run there in the 7. He's at the tail end of this pack. Austin LaPlante right there in the 88 as well, as Seth Cole tries to go up the middle. Zack Winkle will now take the race lead. 34th in points. Another driver struggling in the standings that could use a good run. We've got about maybe 14, 15 cars up in this lead pack, as it's a long ways back to Cody Smart, and then way back behind him is where I think that was Sebastian Cucalon, the 42. Ryan Butcher, nice move as he pulls it dead left off of turn 4. Not going to lead the lap, but he'll have the inside line. Maybe not. Shelton's going to go even lower. 3 wide for the lead into turn 1. Jonny Gardner in tow. 3 wide, 3 rows deep in this lead pack. And out of those drivers in this lead pack, all 3 of our former winners are there. The 76 of Butcher, the 33 of Cole, the 00 of Burkhart. As here comes Riley Spurlytube. This is going to be for 2nd between himself and Jonny Gardner. Shelton trying to block lanes. Shelton comes into this race 16th in points. Did not have a good run last week at M&M's. Dropped from 12th to 16th, but still up in the top 20. 2 laps to go here at Dragonett. Riley Spurlytube with a big run. He's got Ryan Butcher in tow. Butcher trying to get his 2nd win of the season after taking the checkers back at Armory. Seth Cole's got Cody Smart with him. Now Butcher's going to go for 2nd on Riley Spurlytube. Shelton's got to be loving this. They're battling more for the runner-up spot than they are trying to take the race lead away from her. But Butcher may have a big run now. He's got Zack Winkle tucked up behind him. They're going to get a big run here out of 4. Shelton's going to have to do a lot of blocking. Out of turn 4, Butcher not close enough. Can't tell if he's clear on Winkle or not. Looks like he might be as the white flag is displayed. It's Shelton and Butcher that might be settling this out here at Dragonett. Zack Winkle's got Seth Cole in tow. If Butcher makes a move, will anyone go with him? Shelton and Butcher nose to tail. They're double wide for 3rd on back. It's going to be a mano-a-mano. The 02 versus the 76 here in 3 and 4. Will Butcher jump to the inside here in turn 3? Not close enough and no help. Through 3 and 4. Shelton's just got to hold it down on the bottom. Butcher has no one to help him even if he does get a run. Out of turn 4 for the final time. We're going to have our 4th different winner of the season. It's Jessica Shelton taking the checkers here today at Dragonett. And remember I said there's some online drivers I know that don't like Dragonett racing it online. Believe it or not, Jessica Shelton is one of those drivers. But I guess she likes the track and offline because she's going to pick up the victory. Shelton, who had a little bit of a stumble last week at M&M's, definitely bounces back here today at Dragonett, will undoubtedly jump up into the top 10 in points, and now joins Burkhart, Butcher, and Cole as possible representatives for Division 1 in this season's playoffs. Shelton started this race from the 34th position. So through a strong race car and maybe some pit strategy during the course of this event, got up to the front when it counted the most and is going to reap the rewards with the win here today. Standings are official. Ryan Butcher so close to his 2nd win of the season. He'll have to settle for 2nd. Spurlytube brings it home 3rd. Zack Winkle 4th. And Jonny Gardner with a late charge finishes up in the top 5. Seth Cole brings it home in 6th. Brady Burkhart in 7th. Cody Smart is in 8th. Laurent Lemount, maybe he should qualify at the rear of the field more often because he comes away with a top 10 finish in 9th. And Derek Hamill will finish in 10th. The 2 backup cars finish in the top 10 after starting 39th rather, and 40th. LaPlante's going to bring it home with a solid run of 11, so LaPlante continues his consistent runs. That'll keep him in the top 10 for now. Same for Vance Caldwell, who brings it home 12th. 13th for Jefferson. Joshua Lee got kicked to the back after restarting the leader on that last restart. He'll finish 14th, though, with Eli Bright in 15th. And then it was the top 20 completed by Sebastian Cucalon, JT Bryant, Carter Friesen, Diego Yepez, and Andrew Miller, I believe, was the highest finishing of the drivers that came to pit road under the last yellow. Qualls, Goldberg, Ray, Dunham, Roberts, your top 25. And based off of what I'm looking at here, it looks like that Brady Burkhart could very well take the overall points lead heading next week at Madrid. Came in only 8 points back from Philip Goldberg. Goldberg finished down in 22nd, and Dunham didn't do much better in 24th. So I think, based off of the calculations in my head, I think Burkhart, the 2-time winner, is going to be the overall points leader when we head to next week's race. You look on down through the rest of the finishing results here, and see drivers that were involved in stack-ups under pacing or incidents that brought out our 3 caution flags. And they finished way towards the back. Jake Rogers ran out of fuel under pacing on the last caution, finishes the only car off the lead lap in 33rd, and then out of the race, cars involved in both stack-ups, incidents on pit road, and wrecks that brought out yellow flags. William Duncan, Zachary Taylor, Patrick Zych, Matt Haas, Benjamin Millz, Ashlin Boyd, and Joshua Ciculli. The one's going to take the biggest hit in the points off of this DNF is going to be Ashlin Boyd, who came into this race 7th in the points. But that is going to do it here from Dragonett. Hope you guys enjoyed this race. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We've shown you your full finish results, and these are your point standings headed next week at Madrid. We finish out this race weekend, though, with the Division 2 race at Dragonett here tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss it. You've been watching a production of NNSCRA, offline racing at its best. We'll see you guys tomorrow.